Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
There's an alarming new study out on the impact of bullying on the brain. Researchers find bullying can actually make parts of your brain smaller and inhibit development in children. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has the latest on this, what's considered a startling new finding.
This is a very important story about your children and what is happening to many kids at school, on the playground, and online. In fact, we bring you stories all the time of parents and kids talking about their experiences with bullying. And now this cutting-edge study is catching a lot of attention. We've all heard that bullying can increase the chance of mental illness. But this research claims there could actually be physical structural differences in the brains of adolescents who are bullied. As a matter of fact, the study suggests bullying could even decrease the volume of parts of your brain that are crucial to learning. For example, researchers say parts of your brain that would tell you you made a mistake would be impaired, meaning as a result of bullying, you wouldn't recollect making that mistake and subsequently could make it again. To give you a better idea, researchers say it's like heat on a snowball. Being bullied can melt or thaw parts of your brain. Now researchers are hoping their findings will underscore another danger of bullying, one that they say could halt the brain development of some of our most vulnerable people. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
The study was conducted on over 600 young people from several different countries. It compared brain scans of people who claimed to be chronically bullied and those young adults who were not victims of bullying. We might be losing the gusty winds tomorrow, but not the cold temps. Hutch, sounds like it's dangerously cold overnight.
Yeah, we're expecting some pretty nasty wind chills as we go through the overnight. We still have some winds across the valley that are gusting over 20 miles per hour and temperatures slipping to near zero in the Devil's Lake Basin and single digits for many of the rest of us. Winds peak today at nearly 60 miles per hour in Carrington, 45 Grand Forks, 49 the peak gust in Fargo-Moorhead. Current wind chills are between 10 and 30 below zero for most areas tonight. Bundle up. Wind speeds still gusting to 40 miles per hour in the FM area. Wind chills overnight will persist. Even though the winds should subside a little bit, it's going to be breezy with temperatures below zero. So bundle those kids up first thing in the morning. The rest of the day, well, I'll have details on what you can expect there. And I have a little bit of a warm-up trend to tell you about here in a minute.
We'll take it. Thank you.
You bet.
A missing Wisconsin veteran who was thought to be traveling to North Dakota has been located. 36-year-old Sean Wishman from Altoona, Wisconsin, was last seen Monday afternoon. At the time of the alert, Wishman's family believed he was heading to North Dakota. No further details have been released. As the U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer says he's keeping his salary during the partial government shutdown, in contrast to North Dakota's other members of Congress. Senator John Hoeven and Representative Kelly Armstrong both say they are donating their pay to charity while the shutdown is in effect. Hoeven is giving his to a National Guard Foundation and a Bismarck homeless shelter. Armstrong says he's giving his to a center for abused adults in Bismarck. Cramer's office did not explain his position in an email to the Associated Press. Cramer also collected his pay as a House member during a partial shutdown in 2013, saying at the time that he could not afford to donate it. As the government shutdown stretches on, President Trump made his case for a border wall to a primetime audience tonight. He called it a growing humanitarian crisis at the border. The president was also quick to blame Democrats for not funding border security, saying they are the reason the shutdown has gone on for so long. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
My fellow Americans,
President Trump took to the airwaves Tuesday night to make his case for a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
all Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal migration.
The president's first Oval Office address comes 2.5 weeks into a partial shutdown of the federal government.
Law enforcement professionals have requested $5.7 billion for a physical barrier. At the request of Democrats, it will be a steel barrier rather than a concrete wall.
In his speech, the president did not declare a national emergency over immigration, but said a crisis has developed at the border.
This is a choice between right and wrong, justice and injustice. This is about whether we fulfill our sacred duty to the American citizens we serve.
The president's address was followed by a response from Democratic leaders. They've said they will not negotiate with the White House until the government has been reopened.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis, and must reopen the government.
We don't govern by temper tantrum. No president should pound the table and demand he gets his way, or else the government shuts down.
The president plans to continue campaigning for a wall with a visit to the southern U.S. border on Thursday.
President Trump says this issue could be resolved in a 45-minute meeting. He says he invited congressional leaders to the White House tomorrow to discuss it. If you are in the market for a new firearm, your background check has to be cleared by the FBI before you can purchase a gun. But the real sale decision lies in the hands of the seller. But North Dakota lawmakers are trying to take that option away, creating a bill stating that customers cannot be turned down if they are legally able to buy firearms. Representative Ben Koppelman says the bill's intent is so retailers like Dick's Sporting Goods cannot age discriminate against gun sales. However, a local gun shop says they think differently, saying as long as gun salespeople are liable, they have every right to say no.
The problem is, though, again, is that you internally can have that as a policy. It is still a somewhat free country here, that's your choice. But then to try and make it as a law, it makes it very difficult because it's in complete contradiction to federal law.
The nationwide sporting goods store enacted a minimum age restriction of 21 in February 2018 for any person buying a gun, that following the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas school shooting. Mandan High School made a big mistake while emailing second semester schedules to students yesterday. It accidentally sent the schedules of all 1,000 plus students to all 1,000 plus students. The problem is it included students' private information such as hot lunch numbers and locker combinations, as well as addresses and phone numbers. Administrators are asking that everyone delete that email. In the meantime, students will be getting new hot lunch numbers and they will be allowed to carry their backpacks to class with them to secure their personal belongings. Boundary changes for Fargo schools are not off the table as the latest enrollment projections still find overcrowding concerns. Tonight, Fargo schools discussed its latest enrollment projections. While those projections are down nearly 150 students over last year, analysts still predict overcrowding at Clara Barton Elementary School, Discovery Middle School, and Davies High School. The school district says a building capacity task force will help it address the problem.
So what we'll do is we'll bring in a variety of stakeholders on that task force to have some of those critical conversations about what do we want to do, and that will help us develop a long-range facilities plan where we will explore all those options, and some of that might be boundary changes.
That task force is expected to start meeting toward the end of February or the beginning of March. For more information on the enrollment projections, head to our website, valleynewslive.com. Police shot and killed a mountain lion right outside a ballpark in Bismarck early this morning. Someone first spotted the cat in a backyard around 5 a.m. Police and the Game and Fish Department responded and found tracks leading through a couple other parks, Zonta and Kiwanis. And considering the danger to people in nearby homes, officers put the animal down. Game and Fish is having it tested. It was a male between 1 and 3 years old and weighed about 100 pounds.